Hey, do you wanna be like these guys?
Lillard, long range three, and decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown, bang, bang! Oh no, Hardenstein with an offensive rebound. Another chance here, DiVincenzo, he's got it!
If you say yes, you come to the right place. In this video, I will give you all the lessons that I learned, tips and tricks, mechanics and real experience of how to shoot better in basketball. In the end of this video, you will know everything to be lethal in the 3-point line, and then becoming a really good 3-point shooter, helping you achieve your goals in basketball. But in the first place, why we need to be a good shooter? The answer is simple: to make more points and assists. When you can shoot, you not only can add easy 3 points to your stats, but you make your whole game more open, being easy to hit not only shots behind the arc, but inside too. What do you mean? Well, let's look at Curry. He's the best shooter of all time. He can hit 3-pointers anywhere in the court with an unbelievable consistency. But even he makes most of his points in the paint. Why? If you are the best shooter in the world, why infiltrate and make a layup? Well, because of his gravity. If you look to the defensive team, the defenders are so scared of Curry shooting that they are attracted to him a little bit too much in the perimeter, leaving holes in the defense to Curry infiltrate or making an assist to his teammates. This is gravity in the court. So, being able to hit threes not only makes you a better player, your game will be more open to infiltrate, pass and make assists, the more you are a threat in the 3-point line. Now we know the benefits of working and training your 3-point shooting skill. How we do that? We develop a good jump shot. A good jump shot is your natural form of shooting, and is the only thing that you can work on to improve your 3-point skill, besides muscle memory. A bad jump shot is the shooting forms that lacks range, precision and consistency. A good jump shot is the shooting form that adds range, precision and consistency to your shot. So, when we are talking about improve your 3-point skill, we are talking about improving your jump shot. Another thing is very important to develop as a shooter is your muscle memory. That is, your brain capability to remember naturally how to shoot the ball the right way, almost without you thinking. This is going to develop naturally and with training. The more you train, the more muscle memory you will have of your jump shot. Going back to the jump shot, how do I improve it? Your jump shot is just the way that you shoot the ball. To improve that, you just need to know the step-by-steps of shooting the ball. This is called mechanics. You need to add or retry some step-by-steps of your shooting form until your jump shot is totally correct and you are comfortable with the movement. When this happens, you will have a jump shot that helps you. Now you will gain consistency, range and precision on your shots. If you wanna see me talk about a specific mechanic or topic, write that down in the comments below and I will do a video about that. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell too. Helps a lot the channel. Then, what is the steps and steps of shooting the ball? First, we have your feet. Think your body is a clock, and that when you're looking straight at the rim is 12 o'clock. The idea is to leave your feet positioned where it would be 11 o'clock, while you straight looking at the rim. This leaves you with your right arm a little bit looser, allowing more fluidity and strength when shooting than would you have if you are straight up to the rim with your feet positioned at 12 o'clock. Second, be in your tiptoe. When you jump with your feet glued to the ground, you do not convert as much energy as you could from your jump. Instead, on your toes, you work a little bit like a spring, getting more energy from the jump and generate more force and power in your jump shot than before. A person who does this, for example, is Curry. Observe how he transfers his jumper energy and generates more force by being on his toes. Third, squat 1/4. When you're going to shoot, it is a good idea to squat down a little bit to generate more force when jumping, therefore having more strength when shooting. However, if you do not jump or squat very little to jump, you will not generate as much force. If you squat a lot in the other half of the coin, you will lose consistency, speed and some strength. The middle ground to this is the correct. Is the more or less than a 1/2 of a squat, as shown in this video. 4. Put the ball in the middle of your quadriceps. Think about a uppercut. If you start it from the hip or the chest, you have little range of movement, so the uppercut comes out weak. If you pull the uppercut from lower, that is, with more range and amplitude, it comes out much more faster and with much more force. The same happens when you're shooting. The more amplitude you have when shooting, the more of the momentum you have, so your shot comes out stronger. 5. Hand positioning. This is one of the most important on this list, and the vast majority of inconsistency and lack of precision in your shot comes from positioning your hands in the shot the wrong way. If you do not have your hands well positioned in your quadriceps, it is very difficult to make a perfect shot. I have 2 things to tell you about this. First, whenever you start the movement, check the position of your hands is correct, and then continue. You will create a muscle memory to place your hand in the right place, even unconsciously. Stay calm under pressure, because it is in these moments that we make the most mistakes with the positioning of your hands and the shot goes wrong. The second tip is we have 2 ways to position the ball before shooting. Either is in the passing position, just like Curry's do, or with the hand on top of the ball, just like Trae Young do. The truth is that each person will have their own style, and you need to test them both to see which one is more comfortable and effective for you. In the passing position, the way you start holding the ball is not the same way in the final. Throughout the shot, you will rotate your right hand while your left hand guides you. When your hand reaches your set point is a mechanic we're gonna talk about in this video later, your hand must be positioning correctly to be able to shoot. It is hard to get used to this at first, but it is very comfortable afterwards, mainly because of how easy it is to catch a ball and make it just a few adjustments in your hand position before shooting. In the positioning with your hand on top of the ball, it is the same thing as most people shoot. If your right hand is straight on off the ball and your left hand supporting it, guiding it. However, your hand is now on top of the ball. Unlike the passing position, you will not have to make adjustments when you catch a ball. You're gonna catch the ball in that way and finish the same way. I would recommend that you do this step very carefully, as one of the steps, if not the most important step, to have consistency in your shot. 6. Footwork. We have 3 types of footworking that you can make before shooting. You have these footworkings to activate your muscle memory, saying for your brain, now it's time to shoot, get ready. And this will help with its consistency and not taking a travel for small steps when shooting. We have 3. The first one is obvious. It is when you catch and shoot. There is not much to say. You are in the position to shoot, you're just waiting the ball. The second is what I like to call 1-2. This is my favorite as it serves exactly its purpose of activating the muscle memory, and is very simple to train and practice. You just have to take 2 steps and shoot. Simple as that. It could be the first, your left or right step you choose. The third is the most difficult. It is when you do a little jump before receiving the ball. It has the biggest advantage as you gain considerable extra strength in the shot. However, it is much more difficult to do your jump shot correctly, as you have to do it quickly to take advantage of this extra kinetic energy that you have, leaving more room for error. I just use this type for pull-ups in the mid-range and when I want to throw further. 7. Touch your elbow to your hip. I cannot deny that I do not use it a lot, but when I remember to use in my shot, it is more consistent than ever. The idea is, after doing all the 6 steps I already mentioned to you, you slightly touch your elbow to your hip. When you do this, you do not only create another defined point in your shot, reducing your margin of error, you create too a muscle memory that helps in its consistency in your shooting form. In addition to seeming like you ending up pulling your arm a little bit closer to your body, being able to follow a very straight path from your quadriceps until the end of the throw. This is called jump line, is another mechanic that we're gonna learn in this video. Talking about that, the 8th tip and trick is the jump line. Many people are not aware of this path, so they end up losing their accuracy after ball starts and ends outside the jump line. When the ball travels this path perfectly, your shot is much more accurate and consistent, as well being a definitive mechanic to improve consistency of the shot. A tip here is to see where your set point is. We're gonna talk about this later. And go down with the ball until it reaches your quadriceps, forming a straight line. This is your jump line. 9. Fluidity. This is the most important thing about shooting. There's no point in doing the other mechanics if you don't do this. You can't only take advantage of the force you generate through your feet and legs, and most of your strength comes from there if you have fluidity. Furthermore, without fluidity, it is extremely difficult for you to keep up your shooting consistency and even accuracy. What I mean is that this mechanic is as important as the rest, and if you don't know how to shoot and are starting from the bottom, I really recommend that you train this first of all the mechanics. There are two types of fluidity in the shot, you can say. There is the one motion and there is the two motions. Let's talk about the most common among professionals. The two motions is where your shooting goes behind your forehead. You have less power in the shot, but will be harder to contest and better for doing pull-ups. Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kobe uses this type of motion. Great players, not the best in shooting. With the one motion, you make the entire shooting movement before your head. The advantages are more strength in the shot and more consistency. This is the motion that the best shooters use, including Stephen Curry. You have more strength in this shot since you convert the energy of the jump. This is the way I use it and I recommend this one. However, it seems to be more difficult to train and master it. When training, you will notice when a shot flows or when it doesn't. The idea is always stick fluidity to making your shot with the correct mechanics and steps. Set point. Now we are talking about this. This was the most visible mechanic I found, and it was one of the ones that did see more results. The set point is where you start to extend your arm and release the ball. Being aware of where your set point is a very good for your consistency, and having a place that when you get there you just need to do this mechanic is great. The best set point is when you're in index finger points to your eyebrow. This is the best time to still have a one motion and shoot as high as possible. 11. Arm extension. How to have a good arm. After your set point, there are a few mechanics we can do, but one of them can help us a lot. Many people, after making the set point, end up forgetting to finish the shot, especially when they are under pressure. But you need to remain conscious and finish the shot. If you release the ball and your elbow is below the line of your eyes, it means that your shot has a low arc. This makes it difficult for us to hit your shot. What you need to do is to fully extend your arm and the elbow be in the line of your eyes or just a little bit higher, so that your shot has an angle close to 45. This way you can have a greater chance of the shot going and you still hitting 45 angle. It's neither low or high. It is the perfect point for your release. Another thing to take into consideration is extending your arm as much as possible, as it is better to always extend the maximum than having also add another variable to your shot to get it right, which is how to extend your arm shoot. The last tip and mechanic is: do not push the ball, create effect on the ball. When I'm training, I have noticed that even if I hit a shot sometimes, it doesn't come out the way I want. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't even feel fluid. This sometimes happens because of this last mechanic. Because sometimes your hand doesn't is well positioned, or other factors that can end up in the end of shot showing up. Sometimes it doesn't end up generating spin on the ball. Instead, you just push it towards the ring, and that is wrong. You should generate spin in the ball, putting an extra chance for it to go in. Just generate awareness so that in the end of the throw, you break the wrist and give it that last spin so it comes out with more strength and spin. Now we're gonna talk about some tips I will give to you for when you are going to train. It is worth to remember to not overload yourself with changes. When you are going to correct these things in your jump shot or even edit, make one change at a time until this change is incorporated into your jump shot and muscle memory. Remember, it is not enough to just understand and get it right a few times. You need to really incorporate it up in your jump shot. After you realize that you are doing it right and you have gotten used to it, then you go to another step / mechanic that I showed up in this video and repeat the progress. Another thing is to shoot more closely to understand the movement. I realized that when I was going to was extremely difficult to put the necessary force for the ball to reach the ring and still do my jump shot correctly. So, what did I do? I started to get closer to the ring to focus my jump shot and train better my movement. Even today, if I do my jump shot in the mid-range, it is much more correct than my jump shot when I shoot from 3 points. I recommend you to start training your jump shot in the middle of the mid-range, and when it is extremely easy, like going for a sequence of more than 50% in all spots, you go one step back and so on until you reach the 3-point line. Another thing to take it in account is that it is easy to just use your forearm strength when closer shots, as you don't not necessarily need to the extra strength from the mechanics that we learn for the ball to reach the ring. Unlike the 3-point shot, you need to be aware of that and try to make the whole movement fluid. Shoot in the mid-range like you would shoot in the 3-point line. I say that in the mid-range shooting, it is easier for you to end up using your forearm. However, I imagine that in your 3-point shots, you put a lot of force on your forearm when you're going to shoot. But then the problem is different. The problem in this case is that you don't have yet have the strength to shoot correctly from that distance. So you need to patiently develop your jump shot at a shorter distance, progress little by little. When you are extremely comfortable at that distance, take a step back each time, as I already told you. Train more than one spot on the court. This is somewhat obvious, but it is good to train more than one place so you have that muscle memory of the strength needed to shoot from that place on the court. I recommend doing it this way: free throw, practice free throws, corners of the paint, between the corners and the corner in the paint, the 45 angle of the corners facing the ring. In total, there are 8 shots per lap. So, to do 100 shots, you just need to do about 12 laps. To know if you are doing it right, record yourself shooting by recording your jump shot. That is, record yourself from the front, so the camera records you shooting in the front. Even if the hoop doesn't appear, you can know when you hit it because you're gonna stop recording on your last shot, and that shot is when you get it right. After you do the whole circuit, the 8 shots in a lap, you're gonna record a single video for each spot on the court. At home, edit these videos showing only the shots you made, the final shots of each video, and reduce their speed. One app that I use is CapCut. This shows what are you doing wrong with the right shots, and by improving these things, you'll be able to hit more shots. So, analyzing your jump form, your shooting form, is gonna be great for you fixing, adding things in mechanics to your jump shot. And finally, don't shoot any form anyways. Sometimes I catch myself shooting unconsciously, and soon I realize this and go shoot, and I usually get it right after that. This happens because when we shoot unconsciously, we ignore what we are training, in their case, our jump shot, the mechanics. So we don't can improve and train your muscle memory if we are not focused in the mechanic. How we gonna be better in something, how we gonna improve something if we are not focused on that. So we don't can improve and train your muscle memory if you don't focus. But this will happen from time to time in your training. Just be aware of it, and when it happens, shoot consciously next time and go back to focus. And I know there's a lot of things to work on, but you can see that is simple things to do. And if you really wanna to improve as a shooter, this is a bulletproof step-by-step to improve. I too one day needed to do all that. I trained and studied these things a whole 2 months just to learn this. I have to learn this mechanics. You're just seeing that I'm teaching in a whole video. I have to be 2 months learning this. And I'm training until now 5 months and still counting the value of this perfect jump shot. It is hard. It is a marathon, but it's possible. All the achievements I gained playing basketball comes because I trained to be a better shooter. This thing works. You just need to trust the progress and go hard for it. Maybe you are more athletic than me, or not. Maybe you have more potential than me, or not. Maybe you can be tall as me, or not. But one thing I can say for sure, if you improve your game throughout shooting, in using these lessons, these mechanics, these tips and tricks I say to you, you will be a better shooter. And if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification to receive more videos like this. See you in the next video.